If you don't defeat laziness today, it will quietly steal your tomorrow. My dear friends, as this year comes closer to its end, many of you are thinking, I'll start in 2026, I'll change next year, I still have time. But let me tell you something very honestly, very lovingly. Time does not wait for motivation, time moves. Whether you move or not, you are not lazy because you lack talent. You are lazy because comfort has become more attractive than your calling. And today, before another year slips through your fingers, let us talk heart to heart, not to criticize you, but to wake you up. Laziness often wears a very convincing disguise. It tells you you deserve a break. It whispers you've worked hard enough. And sometimes that is true. Rest is necessary. Rest is sacred. Rest is how the body recovers and the mind resets. But laziness is not rest. Laziness is escape. And the problem is, most people don't realize when rest quietly turns into avoidance, rest has an intention. Laziness has an excuse. When you truly rest, you come back stronger, clearer, and more willing to act. When you are lazy, you come back heavier, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You feel more resistant than before. You don't feel renewed, you feel stuck. That is how you know the difference. I have met many people who say, I'm tired, I can't do it today. But if you watch closely, they are not tired of work. They are tired of responsibility. Responsibility asks you to show up even when it is uncomfortable. Laziness gives you permission to disappear without guilt. Think about how laziness operates. It doesn't shout, it doesn't force. It gently says, not now. And that not now slowly becomes not today, then not this month, then not this year. Before you know it, opportunities have passed, energy has faded, and regret has settled in. One young professional once shared with me, I have big dreams, but I just don't feel motivated. I asked him, do you brush your teeth only when you feel motivated? He smiled because he understood. We don't wait for motivation to do what is necessary. We do it because it is necessary. Discipline comes before desire, not after. Laziness convinces you that action depends on mood. But life doesn't reward mood, it rewards movement. You don't escape laziness by thinking more. You escape it by doing something, anything, that breaks inertia. And here is the deeper truth: laziness is often emotional, not physical. You are not exhausted, you are overwhelmed. You are not weak, you are avoiding discomfort. The mind looks for easy exits when it fears failure, rejection, or effort. So it chooses distraction, scrolling, sleeping more than needed, delaying important tasks, calling it self-care. Real self-care is doing what your future self will thank you for. When you avoid what matters, the weight doesn't disappear. It accumulates. Unfinished work becomes mental clutter. Delayed decisions become anxiety. Ignored responsibilities become fear. Laziness promises relief but delivers restlessness. Spiritually speaking, escape is dangerous, because growth happens only when you stay present with discomfort. Every meaningful change in life requires you to face something you would rather avoid. Waking up earlier, having a difficult conversation, staying consistent when results are slow. If you keep escaping, you keep repeating the same chapter of life. And repetition without reflection becomes stagnation. The solution is not to be harsh with yourself, it is to be honest. Ask yourself gently but truthfully, am I resting or am I running away? The moment you ask that question, awareness begins. And awareness weakens laziness. Start small. Do not try to fix your entire life in one day. Laziness hates momentum. Even a 5-minute action is enough to break its grip. Read one page, write one paragraph, take one step. Action dissolves escape. Remember this: You were not created to hide from effort. You were created to grow through it. When you choose responsibility over avoidance, something powerful happens inside you. Self respect returns, confidence rebuilds, faith strengthens. Rest when your body needs it, but never rest from your purpose. Because the moment rest becomes escape, life quietly starts passing you by. Laziness rarely announces itself as destruction. It doesn't come and say, I am here to ruin your life. If it did, we would fight it immediately. Instead, it comes politely, it comes softly, it comes disguised as delay, and that is why it is so dangerous. Big regrets are almost never born from one big mistake. They are born from small postponements repeated daily. One day you say, I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow you say, next week. Next week becomes next year. And one day you wake up and ask, how did so much time pass? Nothing dramatic happened. That is the tragedy. I have met people in their 40s and 50s who say, if only I had started earlier. Notice their pain. They are not crying over lack of talent. They are not blaming circumstances. They are grieving lost time. Time wasted not in rest, but in delay. Small delays feel harmless because they feel reversible. You think, I can always catch up. But life doesn't work like a recorded video where you can rewind and play faster. Life moves in one direction, forward. Every delay has a cost, even if you don't see the bill immediately. Skipping one workout doesn't make you unhealthy. Skipping one prayer doesn't disconnect you from faith. Skipping one day of effort doesn't destroy your dreams. But skipping repeatedly builds a habit, and habits shape destiny. The real danger of delay is not the lost opportunity, it is the weakened character. Each time you postpone something important, your mind learns a pattern. I don't have to act now. Over time, urgency disappears, discipline fades, and laziness becomes your default setting. Spiritually, this is very important to understand. Life rewards sincerity, not intention. God does not bless plans that stay in the mind. Grace flows when effort begins. When effort is delayed, blessings wait too. Many people say, when things settle down, I'll focus on myself. But life never truly settles down. Responsibilities change, challenges evolve, but there will always be something demanding your attention. Waiting for the perfect time is just another form of procrastination. Think of a farmer. If he delays sowing seeds because the weather isn't perfect, the season will pass. Nature does not wait for comfort, it responds to action. Life works the same way. The pain of discipline is temporary, the pain of regret is permanent. Regret has a unique bitterness. It whispers, you knew better. It reminds you that the price you paid was not forced upon you, it was chosen through inaction. That is why regret is heavier than failure. Failure teaches, regret haunts, small delays also destroy momentum. Momentum is fragile, it is easy to lose and hard to rebuild. When you act consistently, energy multiplies. When you delay, resistance grows. What felt easy yesterday feels heavy today. This is why people say, I don't know why I can't start. It's not because the task became harder, it's because the delay made it heavier. One of the most honest prayers you can make is this: give me the strength to do what I already know I should do. Most of us already know the right action. We're not confused. We are hesitant. And hesitation, repeated daily, becomes regret. The solution is not to think bigger. Solution is to act sooner. Do not measure actions by how small they seem today. Measure them by how powerful they become over time. 1 hour invested daily can change your life in a year. One ignored responsibility daily can slowly dismantle your future. Start before you feel ready. Act before confidence arrives. Move before fear disappears, because confidence is not the cause of action, it is the result of it. If you respect time today, time will respect you tomorrow. But if you keep delaying what matters, one day time will ask you a painful question: why should I wait for you now? Do not let small delays grow into lifelong regrets. The future is built quietly, one decision at a time, especially the ones you almost postponed. Comfort feels innocent, it feels deserved, it feels like something you have earned after struggling. And to some extent, comfort is necessary. A tired body needs rest, a stressed mind needs ease, but comfort, when it becomes a lifestyle, slowly turns into a cage. And the worst part is, the cage feels so pleasant that you don't realize you are trapped. Comfort is dangerous because it never demands growth. It tells you stay where you are. Growth whispers there is more waiting for you. Every addiction has one thing in common: it offers immediate relief while stealing long term strength. Comfort works the same way. It makes you feel good now, but it makes you weaker later. And weakness always demands more comfort. That is how the cycle begins. You wake up and reach for your phone instead of your purpose. You choose entertainment over effort. You choose ease over excellence. And slowly your tolerance for discomfort disappears. I have seen people say, I don't like pushing myself. But the truth is, life will push you anyway. The question is not whether discomfort will come. The question is whether you choose it intentionally through discipline or experience it unwillingly through crisis. Discipline is chosen by discomfort. Crisis is forced discomfort. When you choose comfort repeatedly, life eventually removes the choice. Think about the strongest people you admire. They are not the most comfortable people, they are the most trained. Strength, emotional, physical, spiritual, is built only by stepping beyond ease. Muscles grow when they are stressed. Faith deepens when it is tested. Character is revealed when comfort is absent. Comfort delays that process. One of the biggest lies comfort tells you is, you deserve this now. But what if what you truly deserve is the future you are sacrificing for that comfort? What if your future needs your effort more than your present needs ease? Comfort is especially dangerous because society encourages it. Convenience is marketed as success. Easy access is sold as progress. And slowly discomfort becomes something we fear rather than something we respect. But discomfort is a teacher. It shows you your limits and then invites you to expand them. Spiritually, comfort can numb purpose. When life feels too easy, gratitude weakens. Dependence on God decreases. We start believing we are self sufficient, and self sufficiency slowly disconnects us from humility. Many people pray only when they are uncomfortable. Comfort makes us forget that every breath is a gift. There is also another hidden cost of comfort: comparison. When you live comfortably, without growth, you begin to compare yourself with others who are moving forward. That comparison breeds jealousy, bitterness, and self pity. You wonder why life is unfair, without realizing that comfort quietly stopped you from walking. Growth requires friction, just like a river polishes stones by constant movement. Life shapes people through resistance. Remove resistance, and nothing changes. This does not mean you should live a life of suffering. It means you should live a life of challenge. There is a big difference. Challenge energizes, comfort sedates. Ask yourself honestly, is my daily routine making me stronger or softer? That one question can wake you up more than 1,000 motivational speeches. The moment you choose a little discomfort today, waking up earlier, working when it's boring, staying consistent when no one is watching, you reclaim power over your life. Comfort loses its grip the moment you willingly step outside it. Remember this truth: comfort is not your enemy, but it should never be your master. Use comfort to recover, not to hide. Use ease to recharge, not to retreat. Because if you keep choosing comfort over growth, one day life will choose hardship to teach you the same lesson. And that lesson will be far more painful. Choose growth now. Choose discipline now. Because the strength you build through discomfort today becomes the peace you enjoy tomorrow. Your mind is a powerful servant but a terrible master. When your life is guided by mood, it becomes unpredictable. Some days you feel inspired, some days you feel empty, some mornings you wake up full of energy, and some mornings even getting out of bed feels heavy. If you allow these moods to decide your actions, your life will move in circles instead of forward. Mood is temporary. Responsibility is permanent. Most people say, "I'll do it when I feel like it." But the truth is, if you wait to feel like it, you may never act. Feelings are like weather, constantly changing. You don't cancel your life because it is cloudy. You carry an umbrella and keep walking. Successful people are not more motivated than others. They are more committed. Commitment does not ask how you feel, it asks W. Hat is required. When commitment leads, mood slowly learns to follow. Think about spiritual practices. You don't pray only on days when you feel close to God. You pray to feel close to God. Action creates emotion. Consistency creates connection. The same principle applies to work, health, and relationships. There is a powerful shift that happens when you stop negotiating with your mind. Every time you debate, should I do it or not, laziness gains strength. But when you decide in advance this is non-negotiable, the argument ends. Your mind loves comfort. It will always suggest the easiest option. But your mind does not know your future. Your values do. That is why values must lead, not feelings. When you wake up and follow a routine regardless of mood, something beautiful happens. You develop inner stability. External circumstances may change, but your inner direction remains steady. That steadiness builds trust in yourself. And self-trust is priceless. Many people lack confidence, not because they are incapable, but because they have repeatedly ignored their own commitments. Each broken promise weakens belief in self. Each kept promise strengthens it. Faith teaches us discipline beautifully. You show up because it is right, not because it is easy. You act because it is your duty, not because it is comfortable. And in doing so, your heart slowly aligns with your actions. There will be days when your body resists. There will be days when your mind complains. Do it anyway, gently, sincerely, without drama. Not perfectly, but consistently. Consistency beats intensity. You don't need to feel powerful to act. You act, and power is revealed. You don't need clarity to begin. You begin, and clarity unfolds. The mistake people make is waiting for the internal world to change before changing the external. But the external shapes the internal far more than we realize. A disciplined action can lift a heavy mood better than hours of thinking. Movement is medicine. The moment you stop letting mood control your behavior, you step into leadership over your own life. And leadership always starts within. Ask yourself every morning one simple question: what is my responsibility today? Not what is exciting, not what is comfortable, what is required. Then do that one thing with sincerity. Over time, your mind will learn a new pattern. It will stop resisting so much. It will trust your leadership. and moods will lose their power over you. Remember this: feelings are good advisors, but terrible decision makers. Let your values guide you. Let your discipline carry you. Let your faith steady you. When your mind follows purpose instead of mood, laziness has no place to stay. Laziness grows strongest in a life that lacks clear purpose. When you don't know why you are waking up every morning, everything feels heavy. Even small tasks feel exhausting. Not because they are difficult, but because they feel meaningless. The human soul can endure great hardship, but it struggles with emptiness. When purpose is weak, motivation leaks. I have seen people who are incredibly talented, intelligent, and capable, yet stuck. Not because they lack ability, but because they lack direction. They are busy but not fulfilled, active but not alive. Their energy is scattered because their why is unclear. When you know why you are doing something, effort becomes lighter. Sacrifice feels worthwhile. Discipline stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like devotion. Think of a mother caring for a child. She sacrifices sleep, comfort, and ease without complaint. Why? Because love gives meaning to effort. Purpose transforms pain into service. Laziness often appears when life becomes self-centered, when everything revolves around comfort, convenience, and persona. Pleasure, effort feels unnecessary. But when life expands beyond the self, toward contribution, growth, or service, laziness loses its grip. Spiritually, purpose connects us to something higher than ourselves. When you feel accountable to a higher calling, excuses feel smaller. You stop asking, "What do I feel like doing?" and start asking, "What am I meant to do?" This is why people with strong faith often show remarkable discipline, not because they are superhuman, but because their actions are anchored in meaning. They are not driven by ego, they are driven by responsibility. A life without purpose slowly numbs the soul. Days blur together. You consume more, create less, and laziness quietly fills the space where passion once lived. Purpose does not always arrive as a grand vision. Sometimes it begins as a simple intention: to grow, to serve, to be better than yesterday. Purpose is discovered through reflection and refined through action. Ask yourself honestly, what kind of person do I want to become? Not what job title, not what income, but what character? That question alone can awaken purpose. When your purpose is clear, you stop wasting energy on distractions that don't align with it. Your focus sharpens, your choices simplify. Laziness thrives in confusion, not clarity. It is also important to understand that purpose is not something you wait for, it is something you build. You act first and meaning follows. Many people wait to feel inspired before they commit, but inspiration comes after commitment, not before. Serve where you are. Give your best to what is in front of you. Purpose grows through responsibility embraced sincerely. One of the most powerful ways to weaken laziness is to shift your focus from self to service. When your work benefits others, effort feels noble. When your growth contributes to someone else's well-being, discipline feels joy. Purpose also brings resilience. When challenges come, and they will, purpose gives you a reason to keep going. Without purpose, difficulty feels personal. With purpose, difficulty feels purposeful. Your laziness is not a character flaw, it is a signal. It is telling you that something meaningful is missing. Listen to that signal, not by indulging it, but by answering it with direction. Clarify your purpose, even if it is simple, even if it feels small. Let it guide your habits. Let it shape your days, because when your why is strong enough, your how always finds a way. And laziness, having lost its shelter, quietly leaves your life Discipline is often misunderstood. Many people think discipline means strictness, pressure, or punishment. But true discipline is something far more beautiful. Discipline is self respect in action. It is the way you show love to your future self. Every promise you keep to yourself strengthens your inner foundation. Every promise you break weakens it. Over time, this pattern shapes how you see yourself. Confidence is not built through positive thinking, it is built through consistent follow through. When you say, I'll wake up early and you do, trust is built. When you say, I'll work on my goals and you do, belief grows. But when words and actions repeatedly disconnect, self doubt takes root. Laziness thrives where self respect is low. Many people look for motivation outside, from videos, speeches, or inspiration. But lasting motivation comes from integrity with oneself. When your actions align with your words, you feel grounded. When they don't, something inside feels unsettled. Spiritually, discipline is a form of devotion. It is saying, I value this life enough to live it intentionally. You don't discipline yourself because you hate yourself. You discipline yourself because you believe your time, energy, and potential are sacred. Discipline also simplifies life. When decisions are pre-made, energy is saved. You don't wake up asking, should I do this or not? You already decided. This removes mental fatigue and reduces the space where laziness hides. Small disciplines matter more than dramatic changes. Making your bed, finishing what you start, showing up on time. These habits train the mind to respect structure. And once structure is respected, growth becomes natural. Self-respect grows quietly. It doesn't announce itself. But one day you notice something has changed. You trust yourself more. You doubt yourself less. And when challenges come, you don't panic. You respond. Discipline also teaches patience. Results may not appear immediately, but discipline keeps you steady. You learn to work without applause, to grow without recognition, to remain consistent even when progress feels slow. This is where faith plays a powerful role. Faith teaches us to do our duty without attachment to immediate results, to show up sincerely even when outcomes are uncertain. Discipline rooted in faith is peaceful, not stressful. Laziness feels good in the moment, but it steals peace later. Discipline feels difficult in the moment, but it gives peace later. And peace is priceless. The strongest form of discipline is not intensity, it is consistency. You don't need to push yourself brutally. You need to show up gently, daily, honestly. Respect your routines, respect your time, respect your commitments. Because when you treat your own life with respect, life responds in the same way. Discipline is not about control, it is about care. And when care becomes a habit, laziness no longer has a place to stay. Waiting for the right time is one of the most convincing lies laziness tells. It sounds responsible, it sounds thoughtful, but most of the time it is scarily wearing a polite mask. Life does not transform on calendar dates. It transforms the moment you decide to act differently. 2026 will not magically give you discipline. A new year will not give you courage. Motivation does not arrive because numbers change on a calendar. Change begins when excuses end. Many people believe they need more time, but what they really need is more honesty. You already know what needs to change. You already know the habits that are hurting you. You already know the actions you've been postponing. The problem is not awareness. The problem is delay. There is something powerful about starting now, even imperfectly. When you start now, you break the cycle of waiting. You tell your mind, I am in charge, and that shift alone weakens laziness. The most dangerous thought is, I'll start fresh later. Freshness comes from commitment, not timing. Tomorrow is only powerful when today is disciplined. Spiritually, postponement disconnects us from the present moment, and the present moment is where life actually happens. Grace does not wait in the future, opportunity does not live in yesterday. Everything meaningful happens now. Starting now does not mean overwhelming yourself, it means choosing one small action and doing it with sincerity. Consistency grows from simplicity. The mind resists big changes, but it respects small, repeated effort. Don't aim to transform your entire life overnight. Aim to win today. One focused hour, one honest action, one disciplined decision. Momentum is built through immediacy. Every time you act immediately on something you know is right, you strengthen your inner authority. Over time, this creates confidence, clarity, and courage. You stop seeing yourself as someone who plans and start seeing yourself as someone who does. Laziness survives on hesitation. The moment you act, it loses power. Even if the action is small, it changes your identity. You are no longer a person who delays, you are a person who begins. The truth is, you don't need more motivation. You need fewer excuses. You don't need perfect conditions. You need decisive action. Do not wait for January, do not wait for Monday, do not wait for approval. Start in the middle of your mess. Start with your doubts. Start with your fears. Because growth does not require readiness, it requires courage. One day you will thank yourself for starting when it was uncomfortable, for choosing discipline over delay, for choosing action over excuses. And when 2026 arrives, let it find you already moving, already stronger, already disciplined. Let this be the moment you stop negotiating with laziness and start building the life you know you are meant to live. Because the future does not belong to the most talented, it belongs to the most disciplined. And discipline always begins now. Let me leave you with a truth that has guided generations before us and will guide generations after us. Life does not change when the year changes. Life changes when you change. God has already placed immense potential within you, but potential is not rewarded. Effort is. Grace flows when sincerity meets action. When you take one honest step forward, the universe rearranges itself to support you. Do not ask for an easier life. Ask for a stronger heart. Do not pray for comfort. Pray for courage. Remember this always. Your future is not waiting for your excuses. It is waiting for your obedience, your discipline, and your faith. Walk your path with humility. Work with dedication, serve with gratitude, and when you fall, rise with sincerity, not guilt. Because in the end, success is not about how fast you moved, but about how far fully you showed up. Start today, act with faith, and trust this eternal promise. When effort is pure and intention is sincere, destiny has no choice but to open its doors.